Have you ever met somebody that thought they were God's gift to the world? I mean, you know the person I'm talking about. Maybe it was a doctor who thought they were the best surgeon on the planet. They were going to grip it, rip it, and snip it, and you'd be back to your normal self before you could count to three. But maybe it was somebody who thought they were God's gift to the world as a parent. I mean, like they had backup plans for their backup plans. They were the people with extra diapers in the trunk of their car because they never knew the exact moment that something might be needed and they were going to rescue you in your time of need. Maybe it was somebody who thought they were God's gift to the world that was a boyfriend. I remembered your birthday. I mean, what more could you want from a boyfriend? Maybe it was somebody who thought they were God's gift to the world as a husband. You know what I'm talking about? People who blow up and overemphasize small things that they do, like, I just want you to know I did an act of love for you today. I took the one single dish that was actually mine anyway, and I took it from the sink and I washed it and I put it into the dishwasher for you, babe, because I'm God's gift to the world as a husband. Have you ever met people like that? Well, you know, the Apostle Paul writes to the church in Rome in the second half of Romans chapter 11, and the church had really undergone a lot of transition. Started out as a mostly Jewish church, people who believed in Jesus but had this history of Judaism and all the Old Testament. And then as the church grew, they started to reach all these Gentiles who had no same history of faith. They were living a life of idolatry to come into a life of faith with Jesus. And so there was cultural conflicts and divides. Well, all of that got amplified in the church until the emperor of Rome declared that all the Jews had to leave. There was a mass deportation from the city. They were all exiled from the city of Rome. And so now there are no Jewish leaders in this church. All these young Gentile believers had to step up and they had to lead. So they started to do church their way. And then that was fine until the Jewish leaders came back. And they started to reintegrate, and there were these power struggles and things that were tense because how were they going to do church? Were they going to be inclusive? Were they not going to be inclusive? Were they going to try to continue to lead and put their spin on things? Or were they going to recombine and have Jewish and Gentile leadership because they both believed in Jesus? The Apostle Paul wants to remind the Gentile leaders in Rome and the church there to say, hey, listen, you're not God's gift to the world. Remember that we are the people who have received God's gift to the world in the person of Jesus Christ. And so today, in your community groups, we're going to dig a little deeper into the second half of Romans chapter 11. If you aren't in a community group, that's okay. You can just download the link below. Get together with some family members around the dinner table, maybe some coworkers around the lunchroom. You can go through this discussion guide to go a little deeper into the second half of Romans chapter 11. But today, as you go, just remember, you're not God's gift to the world. You're somebody who, if you know Jesus, has received God's gift to the world. So let's live as humble people.